welcome back to the channel. Today we have another fractal tone tutorial for you, and this is all based on the Last Train Home Ballad version solo from John Mayer. In this performance, he did this with a whole band in the studio. So really wanted to capture the essence of the whole band in a studio feel with all the bleed through from the mics and whatnot. So I hope you enjoyed the opening clip. That is with a backing track that had no guitar in it. So all you're hearing is my guitar straight into my Fractal FM3, straight into GarageBand, and that's it. No post anything. So let's get right into it. Here's my signal chain. It's pretty simple, even though I have like a tremolo in here and filter, enhancer. We kept all those off, but this is kind of a John Mayer preset that I use quite a bit for my videos. So let's start with the drive. So kind of what I wanted to go for was Ibanez TS10 type of drive. Now I know there's no TS10 in the Fractal, and really if you compare an 808 and a TS10, there's really no big difference. I'm assuming it's more of a feel thing, but what we do know is that a TS10 is biased a little bit different than a TS808. So tried to capture that a little bit, just where it sounded good for me. Here's kind of the basic settings. Nothing in the tone, nothing in the graphic EQ, but in the advanced tab, all I did was I turned the bias up just a tiny bit to 0.038. That's it. The chorus is very important for this song in the Sob Rock version and this single that he released. So we're going to use the Japan CE2, which is based on the Boss CE2 chorus pedal. And really all I did was I turned the depth up to 29.5%, mix just under 40%, and that's it. Kind of wanted to give it that sound where the drive interacts with it a little bit more. Some people put the chorus after the amp block, and I just really liked how it sounded before, so we stuck with that for this performance. The amp is the 2-Stone J35, so a 2-rock. Here are my settings that I used, and I did use 2 different channels for this solo, because the first part was kind of more of a light solo tone, and then I kicked it in a little bit more gain for when the drums kind of kicked up a little bit more. So here are the settings I used. Like I always say in my videos, adjust the level to your liking and to where it doesn't clip your signal. For the input trim and the master volume trim, I adjusted it just a little bit higher, just to my liking based on the cabs that I chose. And then from there, we just go down to the Dynamics tab, and I just gave it a little bit of gain enhancer, so 0.33, and that's it. For the cabs, I used 2 that I really like, use them a lot in my videos. So I used Legacy 105, and then like I said, I want to capture the essence of that band in a room type of feel with a lot of bleed through from the mics, all that good stuff. So I used a room IR straight from Fractal. Here it is, number 177. I turned it up to ultra res so you could really get that that room mic feel. Nothing in the preamp. Oh, I did turn the low cut up just a little bit. And then for the room level, I turned it up to 22%. That's about it. For the delay, kept it very simple. Used the stereo tape. In the actual single that John released, you hear just a little bit of delay trail, mostly when he stops playing. So it makes me think it's kind of a ducked delay sound. I didn't do any ducking on this, but I did just lower the feedback quite a bit. Same thing with the mix and the time ratio all the way up, and that is it. Oh yeah, and then the spread all the way up to 100%. The reverb is one that I use quite a bit, the South Church, based on the Bricasti reverb that we know John loves and uses all the time, especially live. Turn the quality up to normal. A little over 2 seconds for the time. Gave it 40 milliseconds of pre-delay, just so you can hear the original note attack from the strings, and the mix is at about 16.5%. And that is it for the first part. Here's kind of what it sounds like. All right, so that's the lighter version of this this preset. And then again, when the drums really kick in, I go to scene number 4. And really where you're going to see the change is mostly in the amp block. I kept the reverb and delay the same. I think maybe the drive went up a little bit. So let's go to the amp block and you're going to see kind of what changes here. So we actually brought the drive down a little bit, just because when I kick on the input boost, it was kind of muddying it up a little bit too much. So backed off the drive and the overdrive a little bit, dumped a little bass, gave it some more treble. Same thing again with the level, do it to taste, and same thing with the trim. I just kind of did everything by ear. But I did add a cut in here just so the low end was dumped a little bit more. And then for the dynamics, I did add just a tiny bit more of that gain enhancer than before. And then let's go over here to the drive. So for the bias, I actually did not have the bias up for that second part. Just thought it sounded a little bit better with the extra drive that I had. Turned up the drive tone, and I think the level is probably backed off just a tiny bit as well. But that's really it. Everything else stayed the same, and we'll just play a little bit of that for you. All right, so that's it. Those are the 2 scenes I used in my intro clip. I hope you enjoyed it. Try to dial these in, go through all the different parameters and see what works for you and your guitar. This is dialed in for single coils on the 4th pickup position on my Mike Lowell SX Custom with Lawler Blondes. So it's obviously going to sound different for you, but it'll definitely get you in that ballpark. All right, friends, we will see you next time. But again, in the comments, let me know if there are any other type of tones you are wanting to hear from me later. All right, take care.